What am I thankful for? Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. Universal Soldier: The Return is a 1999 sci-fi action film from director Mick Rogers. The movie opens at the Ryan Lathrop military facility. We see some dangerous chemicals and biohazard. Sweet! Inside an extreme cooling chamber is where they keep their dynamite. This doesn't look like comfortable storage. We cut to a swamp, and did they switch movies to Hard Target? Jean-Claude Van Damme's stunt double is outrunning some soldiers. These guys can't seem to hit anything, even with digital aim enhancement. Seriously, look at this. He's less than 10 feet away. That's practically point blank. Is this the A-Team? Luke and Maggie take over a hovercraft and then a speedboat. The boat wants to be a car, so they take it up on land. Luke and Maggie get separated. This behemoth is Romeo. He ties Maggie to a tree and, Luke shows up in time to rescue her and oogle her government-sanctioned silicone deposits. Romeo's not finished, and the other soldiers show up to drown Luke in chocolate milk. Before they can kill him, they get the order to stand down. Seems this was all some sort of military exercise. They return back to the base of the Unisol project. Universal soldiers, or Unisols, are dead soldiers the government reanimates as nigh-indestructible cyborgs. Luke is a first-generation Unisol that now works with the government on the current models. After the events of the first movie, they removed his cybernetic implants, and he's back to being human. So wait, if they can do this, wouldn't it mean they cured death? The government can control the Unisol's actions, but I guess they forgot to remove the sexual harassment subroutine.
No. Been there, done that. Nice tits. Next.
Since Romeo took a shotgun blast to the chest, he needs some time in the regeneration booth to heal. Why is reanimation juice always green? One of the new units malfunctions, so Luke has to show him the original model is still the best. He goes to see his daughter. Well, I guess that's what he was doing during Universal Soldier 2 and 3. She's talking to Seth, the base's supercomputer. He goes to a meeting to find out the government's shutting the Unisol project down. Seth overhears this and starts planning a retaliation. Seth wakes up Romeo. Hillary asks her father about her mom.
Why did Mom have to die?
Well, honey, because we couldn't get Ally Walker to do the sequel. Here we see the process they used to get someone to enjoy the Big Bang Theory. The next day, reporter Aaron is there to film a scheduled tour of the base. Reporter? Well, here's wife number 2. Is there a lot of static electricity in the air? They notice the unusual activity with Seth and try to stop him.
Just unplug the goddamn thing.
They sound the evacuation alarm, and Seth arms the Unisols. Seth kills Dylan, the cameraman, and the guy who tries to shut him off. It then begins to tell everyone what its plans are. Was this thing programmed by a Bond villain? Luke tells them the system will automatically shut down in 8 hours unless they enter a code. So it, of course, tries to crack the code. Seth's trying to hack the Matrix while everyone escapes. Well, everyone except for Aaron, naturally. Romeo shows up and... This is wonderful. I don't think I could get tired of seeing this. Seth contacts the 90s version of a computer hacker to help him. Squid looks like an idiot, but I do like his choice of music. Gotta love it when Guar pops up in a mainstream movie. Luke's talking to Aaron. How many times is Romeo gonna do this?
He's right.
Romeo, what do you...
The duo escape and hide behind Romeo's one weakness: locked doors.
Jesus, who was that guy?
That's Romeo.
Well, is that door gonna keep him out?
No.
Whoa, look at how wacky Squid is. He eats his Frankenberry with a wooden spoon. He's radical. Romeo finally makes his own door. Luke has a brilliant plan.
What the
He's looking for 2 bodies.
Millions of dollars invested into Unisols, and this is gonna fool it? I guess so. The Unisols go outside to stop the military, and I really wish they did a crossover with Project Shadow Chaser. Ah, nice rock explosion montage. You think the reporter would move away from the gunfire and oops? Okay, it's official. I hate Squid.
That has gotta hurt.
At some point, I'm fully expecting a, "Is that all you got?" The Unisols continue to stand in one place and shoot. Didn't anyone think to bring a rocket launcher? Luke fights Romeo and Aaron sets him on fire. Good thing he has a built-in extinguisher. They get to the roof and...
Oh my God, wait a minute. What do you want?
What'd he throw her into, a pile of shredded script revisions? He pulls the truck out and parks it on Romeo. Luke meets up with the general. See, the Unisols have rocket launchers. In the base, the Unisols bring the biggest badass body they have so they can implant Seth's brain into it. Now he's a super Unisol. His knowledge of scientific biological transmogrifications is only outmatched by his zest for kung fu treachery.
Secure raw materials to increase our numbers geometrically.
Geometrically, not exponentially? Luke and a team of Army Rangers infiltrate the building. Inside, the Rangers plant explosives, but they're stopped by the dreaded ceiling Unisols. This guy gets hit in the chest with a grenade, but for some reason, the fireball comes from the side. One of the Unisols accidentally shoots an explosive and blows himself up. I don't think that's how C4 works. Hillary took a nasty fall, so Maggie takes her to the hospital.
I don't understand. How can you hack in if the phone lines are down all around the base?
Well, this movie just dated itself. They need to make this exposition more exciting, so Erin takes her shirt off. Luke steps into a strip club that also does phone sex and has cam girls? Oh boy, nothing like a postage stamp-sized window constantly buffering with Real Player. Luke uses the computer to find out where Squid is. He then has to fight off a bunch of bouncers. Luke steals a motorcycle and takes off. Luke confronts Squid. Please punch him. Oh, that'll also do. Seth tells Luke he knows where his daughter is, then gives him the pimp hand. Luke goes to the hospital and has to fight off some Unisols. Romeo is hiding behind another door and Luke kicks him out the window. Seth kidnaps Hillary. Romeo then fights a security guard over who has the thickest neck. Why are all the orderlies wrestlers? Luke and Erin head back to the base. Earlier, they couldn't blow the building up because it's full of chemical agents.
Why don't we just level the damn place and go home?
There are biochemical weapons in there. We can't have a poison cloud floating across half of central Texas.
Now they're gonna blow the building up.
We are about to destroy the building.
Luke finds Maggie. Seems Romeo killed her and turned her into a Unisol. So he shoots her. Seth was kind enough to put Hillary in the regeneration chamber to fix her head injury. He tells Luke he'll heal her if he gives him the code. The two then fight it out by repeatedly kicking each other through glass walls. Luke knocks him into a cryo chamber so he can freeze him and do this. Wait a minute. Hillary gets healed twice. Luke rescues her but runs into Romeo, who now has his shirt back. Romeo almost kills him, but Maggie saves him. Hillary escapes and Luke blows the building up in an explosion so epic they needed to show it multiple times. Luke, Hillary, and Erin are now safe until the next movie. The movie was shot mostly in various locations in Texas for about $40 million. After the original Universal Soldier in 1992, TriStar sold the rights to Showtime, who moved the series direct to cable. Showtime produced two films, Universal Soldier 2 Brothers in Arms, and Universal Soldier 3 Unfinished Business. Both were released in 1998 as a backdoor pilot for a potential series. Neither was particularly well received, so the series plans were scrapped. While Universal Soldier 2 and 3 used characters created in the original film, none of the original actors were involved. TriStar reacquired the rights and made Universal Soldier The Return, which completely ignored parts 2 and 3. Universal Soldier The Return is a rarity, in that it's part of a series that started theatrical, then went direct to cable, and then returned to theaters. In most cases, once a series goes direct to video or cable, it stays there. Universal Soldier The Return was a huge box office disappointment, pulling in roughly $10 million versus its $40 million budget. This was Mick Rogers' first and only time directing. He has a cameo as the biker at the strip club. He started as a stuntman and is still working in the industry today as both a stuntman and a stunt coordinator. From 1984 to 1997, he was Mel Gibson's personal stunt double. Now he continues to work with Gibson as his stunt double and stunt coordinator. Michael Jai White, who played Seth, was also a soldier in the original Universal Soldier. It's a neat connection back to the first film, where he was a soldier that was killed in 1992 and brought back in 1999 as the Super Unisol. Romeo was played by WCW wrestler Bill Goldberg. The part was supposed to be for Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he declined, and they went with Goldberg. The strip club in the film was the Clubhouse in Dallas, Texas, which was owned by Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell of Pantera. After Universal Soldier The Return bombed at the box office, the series was put on hold until it was resurrected in 2009 with Universal Soldier Regeneration. Much like The Return did with parts 2 and 3, Regeneration ignored The Return and made the movie as a direct sequel to the original. While The Return is not as good as the original, it's still a fun action movie. Goldberg plays a humorous heel, and Michael Jai White is an outstanding badass of a villain. It's a shame he didn't get much screen time. I would have loved to have seen more fights between him and Jean-Claude Van Damme. At 83 minutes, the film did feel short, and there does seem to be some story missing in exchange to get to the next action sequence. Still, it's a fun entry in a series that, much like the Unisols themselves, is hard to keep down.
Capture Luke Devereaux. Minimal damage.